Hey everybody, and welcome back. And today we are looking at number 23 from the Black series, Toryn Farr, and one of the very rare female action figure offerings from Hasbro from the Star Wars universe. And I just want to state that there's been a lot of female characters added to Star Wars in the last, especially in the prequel movies, but they hardly ever bring out a female character. And when they do, it's basically just a repaint of Princess Leia with only a couple minor changes, and we'll go over that. I think there are more female action figure collectors than there are female action figures. And I kind of wish they would take some time to make a few more characters. There was a lot in Cloud City. There were a lot of females. They've still yet to make the female aliens from the Cantina from Episode 4, who were on the hookah. And it's a common criticism about the Star Wars universe. But one kind of thing that's irksome is that they just took Princess Leia's body and they stuck a non-proportionately larger head on her. They put new hands on her and a different vest. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and review the action figure anyway. And one thing that I was thinking about before we start is the Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel Universe set it came with no Gamora in it, and there's a whole blog about that if you want to read it, written by a female action figure collector, and she's like, where's Gamora? And the Marvel Universe line is still yet to release a Gamora that's in the 3 3/4 inch scale. So if you buy the Guardians of the Galaxy set, you're going to be minus a Gamora, and for some odd reason, the Guardians of the Galaxy line have only got the 6-inch scale and the 2-inch scale. I don't know why they made either one of those, because collectors don't really want them. You see them warming the pegs at the stores right now. So anyway, let's talk about this one here, this new repaint. I noticed when I bought it, the package was already damaged, so I figured this is going to be an opener. But there's a picture of the character, and she was she had a small part in The Empire Strikes Back, but if you recall, she was a communications officer that Princess Leia had to tell to leave because she wanted to stay at her post. On the back, it says, "This Rebel Alliance Chief Communications Officer remains at her post until the final evacuation from Hoth, relaying attack commands to Rebel forces." And there is a screenshot here. So, let's go ahead and look at the figure. Now, if you're doing a Hoth diorama, or if you are just trying to recreate some scenes, this is an essential figure to have, which is a good thing. But Mary's reviewing it with me. Do you have any comments, Mary?
I would agree that it would be nice to have more female characters. Maybe with the upcoming new movies, we'll begin to see that. I think that there have been a few added with the animated series, the Clone Wars and things like that, but still not a lot. It would just add some nice diversity, and I think that most collectors don't care whether it's a male or a female character as long as it's cool.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, they could expand in that line a little bit. She has the same blaster that Princess Leia came with, but it's not as detailed. It's just a black mold. It's just plain, and the other accessories she comes with are her communication headphones, which are pretty nice, and they fit really good. The vest is different than the Princess Leia one, and mostly so they can put a different rank on it. And the vest can be removed. And you can have her like this. And this is, like I said, the exact same body as Princess Leia to a T.
Yeah, you can really start to tell. I mean, the details in the foot molds are the exact same.
It's the same body with less detail.
Yeah.
Less paint.
Yeah.
And Mary pointed out the head is disproportionately large compared to Princess Leia's.
Yeah, the Princess Leia is more accurate. The Black Series action figure, her head is way too big.
I do like the facial detail, though. They did manage to capture the actress's face pretty well. For some reason, they made her cheekbones very defined. Kind of makes her look tired. You see that?
Yeah. I mean, she has a good amount of detail in that facial sculpt that makes her look different, which is, kind of good, because a lot of times, they all begin to look the same. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, the detail on the face is pretty good.
The Black Series figure on the right, she's much more neatly painted as far as her face goes, but the lack of any kind of detail on the jumpsuit compared to the Princess Leia's action figure kind of makes her flat.
Yeah, and if you notice on the Princess Leia action figure, they have like a tan wash on it to just add a little bit more texture and dimension. Make it look like she's worn it for a while. She's been working in it. Whereas this one, it's just one shade of plastic. It's not, there's no detail or texture or anything. And this is a criticism I made about that skiff guard. A lot of these Black Series action figures, these are the premium figures that have the highest price tags, and they have the least amount of detail. The good thing is sometimes they introduce new characters. The bad thing is you're getting figures that they seem like they're an afterthought. Like, okay, we need another woman. Let's just take Princess Leia's body and pop a new head on it and some new hands. So that's the criticism I have of the Black Series. I wish they would put a little bit more time into that, especially if they're going to be selling them for these high price tags. So let's put the vest back on, and I'll point out one of the other differences. So one of the only other things that distinguishes this figure is the rank on the vest is smaller. And if you take a close look, you'll see that this vest is actually a completely new accessory. They made it different. The collar is popped up, whereas Princess Leia's is not. Oh, I just found another difference. On the forearm, Princess Leia has a communications little. I'm not sure.
Communications panel.
Yeah, and Toryn does not either. So
their hands are different.
Yeah, the forearms appear to be different too. Princess Leia, her forearm at least has another quilting kind of thing here, whereas Toryn's doesn't. So it looks like the hands and the forearms are different. The boots are certainly the same. The thighs are the same. The torso is the same. But it's the forearms, the hands, the vest, and the head are the only differences. It's even the same gun. So.
And in a lot of ways, I can forgive reuse of the molds on certain parts. Like, I think they've done enough different that that's okay. I think the major criticism is, once again, not having very many female figures. And probably just the lack of the paint detail. Just one little bit of detail that could have been added is adding some wear to that jumpsuit to make it a little bit, it's just so flat. But I can actually forgive. I mean, they are wearing, it is a uniform, so I can kind of forgive not having a totally and completely new mold for something that's very similar. But they could have done better with the paint.
Yeah, they could have done better with the paint. But nonetheless, it is good to see that they are trying to add some diversity to the line. They are making some female figures and acknowledging that there are female collectors. There's plenty of female geeks and nerds out there who like these figures, and it's still good. All things considered, is it worth the sticker price on a Black Series figure? I'm not so sure. There's a lot of these out there. This one is not hard to find, so if you want to get it to complete your Hoth recreation, definitely get this one. But nonetheless, if you can wait, I think there's probably a good likelihood this one will end up in the clearance aisle because there's so many of these on the pegs. And anyway, nonetheless, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it, about a 7? What would you give it?
Yeah, I think like I said, the lack of detail in her head being too big.
Yeah,
the most unforgivable parts, but it's kind of a basic. She's very basic for this Black Series.
Yeah.
For the price tag.
Yeah, and it's always good to get another Hoth figure. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review and discussion, so keep collecting, and please rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.